Igbo na-ege ntị, anyị ekenekwa unu ọzọ n'ụbọchị iwuruchi n'ụbọchị nke taa. Anyị sị unu daalụ niile na ụmụ Chineke ka unu si na-esonyere anyị n'ife anyị na-eme n'ilu akwụkwọ a maka nnwere onwe nke ụmụ Igbo, maka nnwere onwe nke ndị Biafra. Anyị sị na Chukwu oke abịa ma ya gozie unu niile ka unu si asọpọtụ anyị n'ihe anyị na-eme n'ilu akwụkwọ a. Onye anyị kwuru na ka ọ ya adị ise. Alright, dịka o si na ewetara nnukwu ozi dị oke mkpa from the office of PM Maazị Simon Ekpa nwere nnukwu info review about the next move to liberate the people of Biafra to their promised land. Is a mind blowing. I guess me ife kai. I now say to myself, Biafra will come no matter what. Biafra must come no matter what. Alright, after kigesi yabo ife our PM bo Maazị Simon Ekpa kwuru na yabo ife n'ilu akwụkwọ a kabaro ka drop your own comment pasata maka ife Maazị Simon Ekpa kwuru n'ilu akwụkwọ a. Alright, over to you, sir.
Of the land according to how it is done in the past. We are going to restore the tradition. We're going to restore the power and the energy that made us what we are, that made the enemy to fear us. We're going to restore those powers. At the same time, we will respect other religions that are in Biafra land. And I will tell you now today that in those days, we know what our tradition means. We know when a king or a traditional ruler dies, the tradition of that particular kingdom or kindred will choose who become the next traditional ruler, and not by political appointment. Today, that particular custom, the power that we control in our land has been adulterated by the Fulani oligarchy, by the caliphate and their corruption, and those particular energy is no longer effective in our land. So we are restoring back our traditional rulers' might, right, power, and dignity. Thank you.
Thank you so much. If I hope you are okay. Sources, you want to say something?
Yes,
Please
yes,
go ahead,
yes.
Sources.
No, go ahead, Mazarov. Go ahead.
All right. Thank you, fine. All right, please, if there is no need for, if your question is answered, you just allow the position for someone else so that there are a lot of people that are waiting to ask questions. Mazi Gaddafi of Biafra, please go ahead and ask your questions. Thank you.
Thank you. The Prime Minister of the great nation in Africa. I salute you, sir. I all comrades in the building. I salute you all. Sir, my Prime Minister, you know, as Biafra is going to be the great nation in Africa, and as the Israel of Africa, sir, and you know we are surrounded by enemies. That means we'll be expecting like rockets from our borders. Sir, will there be, in this prototype, will there be a provision for bomb shelters so that if there is any emergency, our people will have these shelters? In this prototype, sir, will there be like bomb shelters, sir? Thank you. That's just the question I have.
Thank you very much. We are going to have bomb shelters, but we are not going to make it public. Bomb shelters remain a security measure for the Biafra people, for internal security of Biafra people, and it is within us. So we are going to know, only us will know where we have bomb shelters and where we do not have bomb shelters. And that is going to come later on. The enemy is not going to know where we have bomb shelter, where the bomb shelter is located. If they have spies in our land, they may try to know, but we're not going to give that publicly to them. So yes, we are going to have bomb shelters. In fact, we're going to take the security of Biafra people as the most prioritized items and most prioritized issues in the Biafra government. So we are going to build very powerful bomb shelters all over Biafra land because we know we are the second Israel in Africa. So it's going to be the same thing. But one thing I can assure you today is that the emergence of Biafra will solve terrorism in Sahel and beyond, and Africa, and by extension in Europe. Because the only place where the terrorists have a stronghold now is in Sahel and in Nigeria. And the disintegration of Nigeria is going to put an end to it. That is what we are doing today. So bomb shelters will be built across Biafra land. Not only bomb shelter, we are also going to have the alarm system. Alarm system is going to be built all over Biafra territory. At any given threat from external threat or any aggression, the alarm system will go off. And our people will be educated and be taught how this alarm system works. Immediately you hear such alarm, you know there is a danger and you know where to go, when to go, and how to do about it. So it is something we are taking very seriously. Thank you.
Mazi Gaddafi, that was a good response to that, and I'm sure you are satisfied. All right, Mazi Udoka Nacho, please quickly bring your question without hesitation.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow Biafrans. My PM, I greet you, my ambassador. Ọkpọkọrọ Oshimosh ka m na-akpọ gị. Dị mkpaji agha fụye ọkụ. Ndị iro mewu ọkụ, iwere agha fụye ya. Ha mewukwe n'olu gị ọkụ. Imewukwe elu ha ọkụ, olepịasịa ha, mana ha mewuo elu gị ọkụ, ijiri agha gị fụye ya. So m na-akpọ gị dị mkpaji agha fụye ọkụ. My question goes like this. What is our Biafran Republic government in exile doing in case of Nigeria decided to cut off network in Biafra land due to the heat they are receiving and the things that is happening now, both the way we are trying to pull out from Nigeria? If they decided to cut off the network in Biafra land, what is the measure our Biafra Republic government in exile is putting in place to make sure that we are not that we are not live in dark? Because network and communication is the most important thing in human life. Thank you, and that is my question.
Thank you very much. We are working on having that particular solution and it is on the table. But let me tell you, if they cut off communication, we will cut off every oil pipeline. We are going to cut off energy. We supply energy to Lagos from the southeast, supply oil to them from the southeast and the south-south. So if anything like that happen, we are not only going to cut the oil, we're going to also cut the energy. And we'll keep Lagos in darkness for as long as we want. We supply energy to Lagos. You know, a lot of people don't know this particular fact, but it's a fact. The electricity you enjoy in Lagos today is coming from the east. We supply electricity to them. So if anything like that happen, we know how to deal with them. So, and as we are dealing with them, we are restoring our network back, and Biafra will start using their own network, but they cannot have access to their own oil. They don't have any oil. They will also not have access to the energy. It will take them decades to build energy, to supply energy to Lagos. Today, we supply them energy to Lagos, and we're going to cut it off too. Thank you.
Thank you, my Prime Minister. Thank you. Master Success, please, anytime you want to come up, please don't hesitate. I have only one hand raised, and that is David. Please endeavor to raise your hands, because after David, I will dislodge those that are not raising their hands to bring in those that are in the room. David, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
David is having a network challenge.
Okay, please, David is having a network problem. Okay, let's pick Udo before Mazi Kevin. Udochi, please, you can bring your question up. Udochi.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, our PM. May God protect you always in Jesus' name.
Right.
Please, my question here is about religion. I know the Biafra is a Christian religious country, but yeah, we have different denominations, and also I am Kwandi Omenala. So I want you to sensitize us more on that, please. Thank you.
On what? On what?
Religion. We are now we are Christians, and then Kwandi Omenala here in Biafra land. So, and also we have the different denominations too. So people are somehow a kind of have a kind of debate and confusion about that we hear. So I need you to sensitize us more on that.
You need to ask a specific question. I cannot just come here and start sensitizing you on religion. It's a very broad issue. But we have three main religions. We have the Jewish religion, we have the Christian, and then we have the traditional religion. So these are the three major religions we have in Biafra nation. So what is your question?
It doesn't have a specific to that question. Udochi, when you are clarified with your question, you can come up and ask, and the Prime Minister will give you an accurate, specified question, accurate, specified answer to your specific question. Mazi Kevin Ndubisi, please unmute yourself and come up with your question, please.
Thank you very much.
Mazi Kevin.
Okay. I greet you, my Prime Minister. I welcome every one of us here. Let me go straight to my question. My number one question is in regards to our currency. In 1967 to 70s, when we fought war, we used the Biafra pounds, and it ended in 1970. And from recent developments, I have seen that the current development now is that Biafra Republic government in Ezra have abolished the pounds and introduced the Biafra dollar. So my question now is, immediately when Biafra is declared, are we going to start using the Biafra dollar, or are we going to use the Biafra pound, because many of us here have the Biafra pounds as we studied after the war? So are we going to use the Biafra pounds immediately after Biafra is declared, or are we going to immediately start using the Biafra dollar that have been introduced by Biafra Republic government in Ezra?
I don't know whether this is, you really actually mean to ask such question. Why can we use something we did not introduce? We have introduced a new denomination, which is the dollar. The dollar is what we're using. The reason why we are not going to use the pounds is that we are cutting off anything British. I want everybody to understand that what we are doing now, America did it. America did exact thing. When America liberated themselves from British, they start changing everything British to their own. So we don't have our own as such, but because dollar is globally accepted currency, we can start with dollar. By the time the Biafra government hit the ground running, we may even decide to change whatever we want to change it to. So it is going to be a collective decision of the Biafra people to vote on which currency they are going to use. But for the beginning, we are taking the dollar, the Biafra dollar, and that's the way it is. But after that, it may change to something else. But I believe it is not going to be pounds. We don't want to have anything to do with the British, considering what they have done to us or against us for many years. So we want to do just like America did, or even more than what America did to them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I understand every of your answers. So my next question is in regards to language, because I've indulged in discussion where we discuss about CBD, our language. So are we going to really use CBD as our official language when Biafra is restored? Maybe
We are not. We are not. We
next
are
five
not.
years we start learning it.
We are
Start
not
learning in
talking
CBD.
about. We are not talking about the official language now. We are going to start using in CBD, but the issue of official language now is something that is going to be a decision of the entire Biafra nation and the Confederation State of Biafra. So it is not something that Simon Ekpa will sit here and tell you this is the official language of Biafra and this is not the official language of Biafra. What we are going to tell you is that We're going to we'll let the people understand the importance of having our language and the reason why we must invest in our language and make sure that our language become the official language and not any borrowed language. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, my last question is not the final question. But
No,
what the
no,
last
you are
question?
taking much
My last
time. You are
question
taking
is,
much time because of time.
police.
Huh?
This may be discreet question that should be asked indoors or privately. But if you don't have an answer to it, you can admit. My last question is in regards to the rays on the sun. In 1967 to 70, we use the rays. If you count it, you see that is 11 rays in
You
the
see,
sun. But
all this question you're asking now has nothing to add to the liberation of Biafra. I want you to ask question about the liberation of Biafra, not question about inscription or what we are using in the logo or what is in the sun, what is not in the sun.
yes,
That has nothing to contribute and has nothing to do to the restoration of Biafra or the liberation of Biafra. Ask question what is going to add value when Biafra come, what we are going to do to change things and make things work for the Biafra people. These are the questions I'm expecting from you. Not who draw the lion or who draw the sun or how many stars in the sun and all that. These are nonsense questions.
okay, okay. Let me read it. Let me read it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. God
Thank you.
bless you.
Thank you, Ndubisi. And please, I'm sure those of us that are coming up with our questions, you must have heard our Prime Minister now. Please be very, very, sure of your questions. Don't ask questions that will not benefit Biafrans or asking questions to your own.
Igbo ọma na-ege ntị daalụ nne nụ unu anụgo ka o si wee gbalụ wee kwuru n'elu akwụkwọ a. Gịnị ka ị nwere ike ikwu gbasịta maka ihe the Biafran PM bụ Maazị Simon Ekpa kwuru n'elu akwụkwọ a gbasịta maka nnukwu ihe ga-eme n'ala Igbo, ga-eme na ana Biafra, and ka anyị ga-esi wee chịkọọ ụwa anyị n'ala Igbo. Ịnụgonu ka ya bụ ife o kwuru si wee dị, ka efi nwere ike ikwu gbasịta maka ya bụ ife ahụ o kwuru n'elu akwụkwọ a, ka bụkwarụ ka ị drọpụrụ ya on the comment section below. Alright, once again, don't forget that this is Eastern News 24, where we give to you the latest news concerning what is happening in Biafra land. Daalụ ụmụnne m, ka emesịa.